how's it going? I didn't see you there. It's Wednesday, new comic book day, and oh, what's on my back? Oh, well, I guess you guys probably don't know about it yet, but let me explain. This is the brand new Midtown Comics backpack that's part of our convention survival kit. Now, this thing is actually super awesome, so I had to show it off. Now, not only do you get this snazzy backpack, but you also get this fancy lanyard that can keep your convention ticket, which, by the way, we're selling them in store right now, $45, go to Comic-Con. But you can crack it open, and it's real easy. It comes with everything you need for a convention. If you've been to a convention before, you know that you get dehydrated. One of the first things you're going to need is a water bottle, so get your fancy Midtown Comics water bottle. Very cool stuff. But it also comes with a Midtown Comics store folio. Now, these things are awesome. If you don't have a store folio, you need one. These are honestly the way that everybody here at Midtown keeps their books, because it's just one of the coolest things in the world. It's a nice little box. It holds all of your comic books, and this special one that comes in the Midtown Comics Convention Survival Kit includes a bag and board kit. So you got all your bags and boards for the convention, and it also comes with a random Marvel or DC blank. So if you go to a convention, you see an awesome artist, you want to bring them something, here's your blank. This one's Batwoman, an amazing series from James Tynion and Marguerite Bennett. And then it also comes with the Sharpie. Of course, you don't want to go to a creator fumbling about. You need a Sharpie. You got your Sharpie. Some really cool stuff, and it's all right here in the Midtown Comics Convention Survival Kit. You see how easy it fits? Take your regular books, you take them, you slide them in, and you never have to worry about them getting damaged ever again. It's truly awesome. So, enough about this thing, though, which is truly amazing and only $34.99 with over $50 of value in here. But enough about that. It's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day. You want to see me talk about the new books. So we're going to get started right away. We're going to talk about all the amazing books that are coming at you from Boom, from Dynamite, from Marvel, DC, and it's a huge week, so we've got a lot to enjoy. So let's get started. Now, right off the bat, we've got Dark Horse Comics. Dark Horse, of course, has a ton of great books. They've got some cool collections that are coming out this week, including Aliens Defiance, as well as the Colder Omnibus Edition with one of the creepiest covers of anything you'll see this week. Terrifying, but really cool stuff. We also have the Dark North hardcover, some art and stories. Cool stuff there. As well as Misfits of Avalon. Nice graphic novel, and then the brand new issue of Angel. The Angel series is, of course, a spinoff of the Angel TV show. Some really cool stuff here, a bunch of different covers that I love, and I'm sure that you guys will love too. It's awesome. How can you not like this stuff? Now, we also have a brand new issue of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and once again, a phenomenal cover on it. This is Buffy Season 11, Issue 11. Now, this takes place, of course, in the theoretical Season 11 of Buffy. So if you're a fan of the series, you can read Buffy 9, you can read Buffy 10, read Buffy 11. It's all great, and it's all really cool. We also have the brand new issue of Rebels, a historical series from Brian Wood. Some really cool stuff. And then we also have the brand new issue of Zodiac Star Force, Cries of the Fire Prince. Now, this is a really fun book. Really fun. It's family-friendly, all ages accessible, and super awesome from Kevin Panetta and Paulina Gunacheo. Now we hit DC, and this is a big week for DC. A lot of cool stuff. Starting us off, we've got the brand new issue of Batgirl. Really cool series. Hope Larson's been doing a great job with Chris Wildgoose on art this issue as we see Nightwing and Batgirl reunited, as they are putty in the hands of the Mad Hatter, who is manipulating things from behind the scenes. It's really cool, and I really like getting to see a cool villain like Mad Hatter, who often doesn't get used to enough, coming to the forefront of a major storyline. We also have Batman Beyond, issue 12, but right here you'll see Batwomen Beyond. That's right, Batman is not alone in his war on crime. We see in this new issue a lot of really cool characters popping up, some great stuff. The Batman Beyond book has been really cool. Show off that amazing cover from Dave Johnson. Really cool. Then as we continue down, we've got Batman the Murder Machine. It is a Dark Knight's Metal tie-in, hence that lovely metallic shine that you can see on the cover. Franco Thierry is on art. And, okay, Look at this cover. Just look at this cover. This is Batman as a tank. Now, I cannot process that, and it's absolutely crazy. The book is really bonkers, really nuts. You can see here some of the cool interior art. A lot of these Dark Knight's Metals tie-ins are showing the weird dark multiverse versions of Batman that are kind of almost like Batman as a different Justice League member. So this is kind of like what if Batman was Cyborg, and it plays in with the main narrative, and it's really cool. Now, moving down, we've got a book that is near and dear to my heart, A Lonely Place of Living, Part 1 in Detective Comics. Now, this book has been built up for over a year now, and it's James Tynion and Eddie Barrows really doing some cool stuff. You can see right here on the cover, we've got the return of Tim Drake, but also Mr. Oz has, of course, had Tim Drake captive for the better part of a year now, and it's really crazy to think that this story has all been building up so naturally and so cool. And I also love this cover because it's an homage to the original first appearance of Tim Drake, so some cool stuff there. We also have the conclusion of Batman and the Shadow from Scott Snyder and Steve Orlando with Riley Rosmo on art. Really cool series, really great covers. I mean, this is Tim Sale drawing Batman and the Shadow. There's nothing else that you need in this world. Really cool. The second issue of Nightwing, The New Order, is out this week, and it's from Kyle Higgins and Trevor McCarthy. And if you've read the first issue of the series, or if you've read Batman Gates of Gotham, you know that these guys are a really great team. And in this dark future, we see that Nightwing has kind of outlawed all superhero activity, but then he finds out a shocking twist that will change his entire mentality on the entire ordeal, and it's really good. You should read it. It's really cool. It's actually really been fun, and it's a cool Elseworlds tale from DC. The brand new issue of Blue Beetle is out this week. I love this Tyler Kirkham cover, doing a lovely little Hamlet routine, and it is really cool. We also have the brand new issue of Bombshells United. This is issue number 2, and here we get to see Wonder Woman, and we get to see Dawnstar from Legion of Superheroes popping up in the Bombshells universe, which I think is super cool and really fun. Then we have the brand new issue of Flash. Bloodwork continues. Now, if you read the last issue, you know that things are crazy right now in the world of Flash. Barry Allen's been having a really awful life lately. I mean, things are not going well with Iris. His personal life is just in shambles, and his powers aren't working. And now with the emergence of this new villain, Bloodwork, it really might be too much for him. And it's also just really cool. I like seeing these new villains popping up and adding to the mythology of the character. Really cool, really fun, and it's great. And Joshua Williamson has been having a lot of fun with Neil Googe on art this issue. Great stuff. We also have the brand new issue of Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. Really cool. We got a Barry Kitson cover here showing off the entire Green Lantern Corps. Show off this other cover as well. Been having a lot of fun with the New Gods being tied in with the Green Lantern mythos. Robert Venditti is really showing off and really telling a great story right here. Then we have the brand new issue of Hellblazer, another really cool series from Tim Seeley, doing a great job. Show off a couple of these different covers. Then we have the brand new issue of Justice League of America. It's been crazy. It's panic in the microverse, and things are not going the way that the team wanted at all. Like, that's an understatement. And it's really cool to see how the chaos is unfolding. We got the return of Ray Palmer. You can see him right there on the cover. But does Ray necessarily want to be with the team right now? What is his role with everybody else? It's really cool, and it's really fun to see this story unfold, really. I mean, it's the microverse. You know, it's one of those things DC's had, but they don't always talk about. So seeing them play with it is really cool. We also have the brand new issue of Justice League Power Rangers. It is the concluding issue of the series. It's been a lot of fun. Tom Taylor and Stephen Byrne really doing a great job and really showing off some great art. We got this cool Carl Kerschel cover. But honestly, this book is awesome. The way that the story wraps up is awesome. Getting to see the Justice League hanging out with the Power Rangers is awesome. And the ending and what it alludes to is really cool and makes me curious to see what the future holds for these two teams. Now, as we continue moving down, we've got the brand new issue of Commodity Challenge. And if you're not reading Commodity Challenge, you're missing out on one of the most creative books that DC currently has going. And this issue, we've got Tom King and Kevin Eastman. And that's right, I just said Kevin Eastman, the legendary creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, is making his interior debut for DC Comics. And it's so cool to get to see Kevin Eastman, who really revolutionized so much of the comic book industry, working on a story, and it's great. It's really cool. It's a bit of a different take, but if you're a fan of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this is something you cannot miss. And it's Tom King, and Tom King has been on a ridiculous hot streak lately. So if you're a fan of either creator, you got to check it out. You can't miss out. It's one of the coolest things. Show off that alternative cover there. It's one of the coolest things that DC's got going, and Freddie Williams is helping out as well, and it's really great. Then we also have the brand new issue of Mother Panic from DC's Young Animal imprint. Some really cool stuff here. Show off a couple of these different covers. Jody Houser's been having a lot of fun with this book, and it's really showing because it's great. Now we're going to take a bump up, and we're going to look at some of the cool graphic novels. First off, we've got Mr. X, The Modern Age, a really cool graphic novel collection from Dark Horse. And then we have a couple different Batman 66 books if you are a fan of the original TV series. We've got Batman 66 meets Steed and Peel. Really cool if you're a fan of the old Avengers stuff, you know, like the old British Avengers. And then we also have Wonder Woman 77. That's right, two of TV's biggest properties of the past teaming up, and it's cool, and it makes perfect sense. It's really great and fun. Now, this was a no-brainer for me. It's Flash, Silver Age collection, collecting the original tales of the Flash. Now, these are some of his earliest adventures and some really great stuff. And you can see right here on the cover, you know you're going to get Wally and you're going to get Barry. And having the two of them teaming up and getting to read those vintage stories, those classic adventures, is really great and near and dear to my heart. And if you just want to read something cool and fun that has my seal of approval, I highly recommend it. Then we also have the second volume of Future Quest, which is the second of two. It is the conclusion to the series. And Jeff Parker, Doc Chenier, and Ron Randall really do a good job on the book, bringing in those classic characters, a lot of these old characters that you remember from the Hanna-Barbera universe, all in a new series. Really great and really cool and dramatic and actually like really messes with you. So it's definitely worthwhile. Then we have the second volume of Injustice Ground Zero. This bridges the first Injustice series and, you know, the Injustice Gods Among Us with Injustice 2. Definitely worthwhile, and the Injustice comics are gnarly and awesome. And then right here, we've got a really cool Absolute Justice League Origins. Now, this focuses on the Jim Lee and Jeff Johns Justice League. You can see that amazing Jim Lee art, which is now iconic because this book completely revolutionized the way that the Justice League was handled, and it's really great. It is a nice collection. It's $100, so it is an upscale edition of the series, but it was one that I definitely recommend because it's Jim Lee and it's Jeff Johns, and with Justice League right around the corner, it's a great time to get in. There's a brand new issue of Suicide Squad this week. Now, this does tie in with the Gotham Resistance storyline, but it's really cool to see how these characters fit in. We've got Stepan Sedgwick on art here, and I love anything the man draws. And this is, like, let's just take a look at that right here. This is Harley Quinn and Robin driving basically like a school bus from Mad Max. It is absolutely crazy. It's so fun, and it really is completely worthwhile. Just look at how crazy this book is. You cannot possibly contain the chaos from Metal, and it's really cool to see it spilling into the Suicide Squad book as part of Gotham Resistance. I highly recommend you check this book out. If nothing else, for Stepan Sedgwick's art, he is one of the best artists in comics today. Now, moving over, we've got the brand new issue of Action Comics, the second part of the Oz Effect storyline. We've got this really cool lenticular, and man, that shows up great on camera. You can just see the devastation as we have follow-up on the first part of the storyline, which really was crazy. And I'm not going to spoil, but Superman does not respond well to the revelation, immediately accusing this figure, the mysterious Mr. Oz, of being a liar and a cheat and a sham, and he's so hurt and offended and angry, and it's great and it's interesting and it's compelling, and it's a really different direction for Superman and for the Oz effect. Definitely check out that book if you're interested in what Rebirth has been building since day one. And then, of course, to close us off for DC, we've got the brand new creative team on Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 31 comes from James Robinson and Carlos Pagulayan, and it is the beginning of Children of the Gods, and we get to see some really cool stuff here. I'm just going to flip through a little bit to show you some of that art, because Carlo Pagulayan really does a great job here, and we get to see just what happened after the Darkseid War. And there are some major ramifications. I do want to show off. You can see Grail is reappearing. She's on the cover. She's in the book. That's not a spoiler, but it's some crazy stuff. And I do want to just show, where was it? Don't want to spoil too much for you. But there's this great page right there. Wonder Woman fighting Giganta. And Giganta is, well, I really love Cheetah, but I really love Giganta just like that little bit less. Giganta's awesome, and it's always cool seeing her face off against Wonder Woman, and it's great seeing these classic villains appearing. And then from Vertigo, we've got the brand new issue of American Way, Those Above and Those Below. Been a really cool book from the Vertigo imprint. IDW is putting out the Diablo House this week, second issue. Some cool stuff there, as well as the fourth issue of First Strike, which is, of course, this crazy big storyline involving a bunch of the different properties that Hasbro has licensed out to IDW that they're doing an amazing job with. And if you're interested in First Strike, there is, of course, the Micronauts storyline, a specific First Strike for the Micronauts, focusing on those characters and their role in it. We also have the brand new issue of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. Some great stuff here. Issue 244 of the long-lasting franchise. You can see Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Are they on the same team? Are they going to be duking off? Is, Storm Shadow about to, attack Snake Eyes? Hopefully not, because, they've gotten past a lot of their past grief. But it's really cool, and it's great, and it's ninjas in G.I. Joe. I mean, come on. It's classic. It's great. You got to love it. You got to love Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. I love Storm Shadow, actually. Then we've got the brand new issue of The Infinite Loop, issue number 1, Nothing But the Truth. A very cool book. Some great stuff here. Elsa Charretier starting off her writing career. Really great stuff here. She's, of course, done a ton of great art, and now she's taken on writing duties. Some cool stuff here. We also have the brand new issue of Gem and the Holograms Infinite, not to be confused with the Infinite Loop. It's a very different Infinite, and Kelly Thompson's been having a lot of fun with Gem and the Holograms, telling some cool, outrageous stories. Show off a couple different covers there, too. We also have the brand new issue of Revolutionaries. Of course, there's incentive covers, there's regular covers, there's tons of covers, because there's just so much great art to show off. Really cool, really fun, really worthwhile. As well as the brand new issue of ROM, issue number 13. Now, with more ROM stuff, we've got ROM versus the Transformers in the Shining Armor. Now, this is a fun storyline crossing over two cool metallic franchises. Of course, ROM and Transformers teaming up, facing off. It all makes sense. It's all great because they're two properties that naturally fit the worlds of one another. We also have the brand new issue of Saucer State from Paul Cornell. Some really cool stuff. As well as the 74th issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You heard me talking about Kevin Eastman before. You know that he's still involved with the franchise, still working on creating really cool stories, and it's really cool. And this is the longest lasting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series ever. 74 issues. It'll be 75 next month. I mean, that's great. That's cool. That's awesome. It's fun. And it's the Turtles. And Mikey's in the middle. And he's front and center. And I'm a sucker for Mikey. So yay, Mikey. We also have the brand new issue of Weird Love. I say brand new, but these are actually classic reprints of the old weird romance comics that used to come out back in the 50s, back in those olden days. And if you want something fun that really focuses on the history of comic books, it just tells you weird stories you don't get anymore, check out Weird Love. Then we have, to close this off for IDW, the brand new issue of X-Files Origins. Some cool stuff here. Show off a different cover as well. Definitely a lot of fun. if you are a fan of the X-Files. Now we hit Image, and it is a cool week for Image as they start off with Black Magic. Of course, Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott have been doing a really amazing job, and it's a great series. Nice covers here. Nicholas Scott's art is always amazing. It's Nicholas Scott. I mean, everything she touches is beautiful. I love her Teen Titans. I love her time on Earth 2, and I love what she is doing with Black Magic, really playing with her art to make something special. Then we have Black Monday Murders from Jonathan Hickman, another really cool series if you want a bit more of a mystery spin to what you're reading. And then we have the the fourth issue of Crosswind from Gail Simone and Kat Staggs. Very cool stuff here. The second issue of Hard Place is also out. Now, Hard Place is cool. It's kind of got like a bit of a heist vibe to it. Show off some really nice covers here. It's got a heist vibe to it. We've got a kid who doesn't want to be involved in crime anymore, but he just finds that it's almost impossible to get out. Of course, everybody, all of us know that. But this poor guy, this poor sap is getting roped into a crazy adventure that he didn't ask for. And it's great. And it's got the mob, and it's got bank robbers, and everything you could want. Really cool crime series. Then we have Lazarus X, issue number 3 of 6. Some really cool stuff here. Greg Ruck has been having a lot of fun on Lazarus for years. Great to see that continue. Now we're going to take a look up, and we're going to hit some more collected editions. We've got the hardcover edition of Superman. Now this has got some meat on its bones. This is $34.99 for 14 comics. It's the first 13 issues of Superman, and it's also the Rebirth issue. Really cool stuff here. And then we have the second paperback of Titans from Dan Abnett and Brett Booth. Now, if you're not reading Titans, this is honestly a great jumping on point. Really cool as we get to see the Teen Titans, or the former Teen Titans, moving out to the East Coast and building back their tower, their classic T-Tower on the shores of Manhattan. Really cool. And I love that little play on words, made in Manhattan, because there's also the movie, and there's all these cute things. It's fun. It's cute. It's great. It's awesome. Then we have the collected Orchid, a cool graphic novel, as well as The Velvet Lady, a Phantom storyline. Then we have Under Fire from Lion Forge. From Automatic, not Lion Forge. Why am I saying Lion Forge? Then we've got Vampirella, the Omnibus Master Series, the best of Vampirella. She's got so many books. This is the best. And then we also have Parker. Now, of course, this is from Darwin Cook. And Darwin Cook's a master. If you never read Parker, you're missing out. It's some of the coolest stuff that he ever did. And it's Darwin Cook. That is your selling point. Darwin Cook, he's amazing. He's unparalleled. And I still miss him every day. Then we've got the Shadow Killer. Some cool stuff here, as well as Star Trek and Green Lantern Stranger Worlds. This was their second crossover series, and it's very cool to see. I mean, it's also terrifying. We've got the Klingon and the Sinestro Corps. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. That's terrible, because both of those things are so powerful on their own already. Then we've got the Complete Voodoo, Volume 3, in the same vein as Weird Love. It's some classic comics, some cool stuff here. I really like the trade dress and finish they put on these. And then we have Moonhead and the Music Machine. Buzzkill from Donny Cates. Donny Cates is blowing up right now, about to take on a ton of different books. And we've got a special guest.
Henry, hello.
Hello. It is our very own Vic Melendez. How are you, Vic?
I'm doing all right. I heard you said Buzzkill. All right, that's my pick for this week.
Oh, is it really? Now, Vic, can you maybe tell the viewers out there in Wonderland a little bit about Buzzkill?
Essentially, in a nutshell, it's a story about a superhero who, it's definitely not for kids, let you know this right now, who gets his powers by abusing alcohol and other substances. And it's about him, how he wakes up from a really bad bender with the city destroyed and villains out, and doesn't have no idea who he's fighting, so he decides to go in recovery, and that's exactly when the villains start to descend upon him. So it's basically either drink and live or stay sober and die. It's a very warped idea of a superhero, and I'm very excited to read this. Dark Horse put this out about maybe a year and a half ago. It's been out of print for a while, so I'm really glad Image decided to put this back into print, because I really want to read it.
And Donny Cates is blown up. He's one of the hottest writers.
God Country, I loved, and he's also going to be writing Thanos with issue number 13 with Jeff Shaw doing the art, so be on the lookout for that as well. Another one I'm picking up this week, Kill Them All from Kyle Starks. If you guys are familiar with Rock Candy Mountain from Image or his previous work, Sex Castle, this book looks awesome. Essentially, from what I can gather from this, it is a good blend of Die Hard and The Raid. Two of the greatest action films ever made into a comic. So it's an ex-cop, female assassin, 20 floors of just killers and murderous criminals, and all the humor you could want.
I'm already sold. That sounds amazing. You had me sold when you said Die Hard meets The Raid.
Yeah. Which, I mean, let's be honest here, those are the two that have ever come out, and it's two of the greatest. Two of the greatest ever. So once I found out about that, I knew I'd be buying that. Also, you got Marvel Legacy, which was a nice little surprise. You got a lot of it's a big week. It's
a very big week. It's an exciting week. And I know that my wallet hates me today, honestly.
No, absolutely no. I had to put it in my bags because it's just it's calling to me. It's calling to me. Also,
otherwise, it'll disappear.
Yeah. Also, know that you had that snazzy backpack earlier.
I did, and I've still got this lanyard. Yeah, this nice little remnant
with Thursday passes that we are selling here at all our Midtown locations. Yeah.
We are. They're awesome. It's very cool. I'm very excited. Are you excited for Comic-Con next week?
I am extremely excited for Comic-Con. Every year it comes. We all work hard for it. I'm going to be at the booth on Saturday, so if you guys are going to stop by, any one of you, come say hi. Let me know what you're reading. I know you'll be there.
I will be there. I'm very excited. Comic-Con is I think I've gone to pretty much every single New York Comic-Con. It's one of the highlights of the entire year for me.
It is, yeah. I look forward to Artist Alley, walking the floors, going to all the different booths, picking up random back issues. Oh, yeah. It's the best time of the year. Second to Christmas.
I think it's like the comic book community's own personal Christmas, you know?
Yeah, I would have to agree. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to let you get back to it.
Well, thank you for stopping by, and of course, thank you for your amazing recommendations. We know that the people love them.
And I love you guys too. Please let me know if you guys are picking these up, what you think about them. Also, stop by, let us know what you're reading, let us know what you want to read, any kind of suggestions. We'll be happy to give them away.
Well, very cool. Thanks, Vic. All right, so we're going to continue down. So we obviously just heard a ton about Buzzkill, and it sounds amazing. And then we also have the 5/5 of Science from Matt Fraction, and the name is awesome. That already sounds cool. We've got the collection for Hadrian's Wall, a very cool series that came out earlier this year, as well as, oh, would you look at that? Rock Candy Mountain. It looks like, Vic's really got his finger on the pulse of things because, of course, the Volume 1 does come out today. We also have Volume 1 of Royal City from Jeff Lemire, and it says Volume 1 and it says Jeff Lemire. If you're not already buying it, then you're missing out because it's only $9.99 for a Volume 1 from Image. Some amazing stuff, and it's Jeff Lemire, an amazing, amazing creator. We had a couple weeks back, Taron Egerton from Kingsman came by, and all he wanted in this entire world was Jeff Lemire comics. He grabbed every single thing he could find. Some really cool stuff and great taste on him. Now we also have the 5th volume of Shudder from Image, 5 volumes. Tells you 5 volumes of quality. Really cool series. It's been going for a while. As well as the 3rd volume of The Tith from Matt Hawkins. And then we have Sorayama, the complete masterworks. Some cool stuff here. A great little book if you're interested in a more artistically driven series. Now we've got the brand new issue of Packless 5 from Dustin Weaver. Very cool stuff. As well as the Rat Queen special, Orc Dave #1, focusing on, of course, Orc Dave. Everybody's got to love Orc Dave. He's one of the best parts of the Rat Queen series. Now, as we continue over, we've got the brand new issue of Redneck from Donny Cates. Some really cool stuff here, as well as the latest issue of Saga from Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Looking very cool. Love that cover art. Love the art in general. Fiona Staples, I mean, she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. Some really cool stuff here. Now we've got the 4th volume of Sex Criminals. Once again, Matt Fraction, Chip Zdarsky. And it's Sex Criminals, which means I can't really tell you anything about it except to buy it. Because if I tell you any of the details, I'll get in trouble because this book is crazy. But read it because it's actually really fun. Then we have the brand new issue of Southern Bastards, issue number 18 from Jason Latour. Some cool stuff here. And then we have the 3rd part of the Dark Horror storyline in Spawn, issue 278. 278 comics in the Spawn line. That's amazing. That's really cool. I'm happy to see it's still going strong. And then, of course, it's a big week for Walking Dead fans because Volume 28, A Certain Doom, is out. Now, this is a really cool collection continuing Walking Dead, which is, of course, Walking Dead. It's a monster at this point, which is a little bit of self-aware at that point. Very cool, very fun. If you're a fan of Walking Dead, you're buying this book. And if you're not a fan of Walking Dead yet, try it out because, honestly, there's a reason this thing is so popular because it is that good. Now we hit Marvel, and this is a huge week for Marvel. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about here. We've got the brand new issue of Black Panther. Show off a couple different covers here. This Jenny Friesen cover makes me super happy, and it's already sold out online, so you have to pick it up in store because it's so popular. These Jenny Friesen connecting covers have been going like crazy. Then we also have this very cool Venomized cover. Great series right here. Now we've got Elsa Bloodstone. Well, the whole Bloodstone family, really. It's Bloodstone and the Legion of Monsters. And the Bloodstones are one of those classic Marvel families, bloodlines that just have all these different characters seeped in with the world of monsters. Elsa's my favorite, but I also like Cullen Bloodstone from Avengers Arena. Very cool dude. Then we have Generations Captain America, focusing on Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers. This is Nick Spencer's big send-off. This is his final issue on the series, and it's also a great jumping on point because it does lead into the new Captain America status quo, dealing with the crazy fallout from Secret Empire, but also managing to be standalone as we focus on the complex dynamic between these two men. And there's an interesting twist to their dynamic in this issue, and I definitely recommend it and definitely think it's worth picking up. Then we have the brand new issue of The Mighty Captain Marvel from Margaret Stoll. Been a very cool series, very fun. Now that Secret Empire has died down a little bit, there's a moment to breathe, and it's very cool, very fun series. Then we've got Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe again, issue number 5 from Cullen Bunn and Dalibor Talajic. Now this book, look, it says it everywhere on it. Not for kids. There's a reason. This book is crazy. It's called Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. I mean, I don't think I have to explain it more than that. I can't even flip through to show you things because I'm afraid of what I'm going to find. But this cover, that cover I can show you. That cover is amazing. I love that cover. Then we also have the 5th issue of I Am Groot from Christopher Hastings. Really cool. Really fun. Completely different from Deadpool because this is something that the entire family can enjoy. And then we have the 3rd issue of Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series. Been really putting out some great stuff here. We also have a nice reprint edition of Generations Hawkeye. If you want to see Kate Bishop and Clint Barton teaming up, that's the book for you. And then we have the brand new issue of Infamous Iron Man. We got a couple different covers. I honestly don't even know which one I love more because, I mean, God, those are both so gorgeous. This book has been so cool. Brian Michael Bendis, Alex Maleev. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. And then we hit the biggest book of the week by far. Of course, it is the much anticipated Marvel Legacy. Marvel Legacy is what Marvel has been building to for months and months and months. Some crazy stuff here. It's huge. It's oversized. We got some great stuff and a variety of really cool covers. We got Terry Dodson. We've got Scotty Young. We've got John Tyler Christopher. We've got Greg Land, Mark Brooks, our exclusive J. Scott Campbell edition, as well as the Joe Quesada cover, and a lenticular. Show off that lenticular. You can see how it changes. Some cool stuff here. Marvel Legacy is by Jason Aaron and Asad Ribic, but it also features art from some of the top talent in all of Marvel. You've got Chris Samney jumping in for parts of it. You've got Steve McNiven doing some of the art, Russell Dauterman, some great stuff here. And I want to flip through it, and I want to show you some things. And maybe if I show you the first couple pages, I won't ruin too much. Maybe nobody will shoot me if I just show you those first couple pages, because there is, of course, a very important return in this issue. Got to show off that cool Mark Brooks cover. A lot of these covers are really great because they show off a wide range of characters. Some cool stuff here. And of course, you guys saw me playing with the Midtown one earlier, but I'll show you again in case you tuned in late, because the J. Scott Campbell cover is really something special. Very cool. Focusing on the Avengers 1 million BC, the original Avengers as we know and love them, and of course, the modern day Avengers as well. I will take a flip through, and we can see that this story starts us off in this 1 million BC time period as we see these original Avengers facing off against Celestials. Now that is cool. That is how you hook me in. And then we flip through, and I really have to be careful with what I show you because I don't want to ruin it. But show off some of these Steve McNiven pages. We got Frost Giants, we've got Avengers, we've got some crazy stuff. And I love these new Marvel ads they're doing, these in-house style things that are really fun, cool throwback. Chris Samney. I mean, this is everything you could want. This is the entire Marvel universe in one book. Some really great stuff here and really worthwhile. And also we get to see Marvel's been like hyping this up. They've been like, oh man, there's going to be this crazy return. And there is a crazy return, but they tricked us. They tricked us because that's not it. They underplayed it. They undersold it because there's way more in this book than I can even tell you because it's not just a return. It's returns, plural. And that is cool, and that has some major implications for the future of the Marvel Universe and makes me really excited for this new line of books that will be spinning out of Marvel Legacy. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome, and I am going to be here every step of the way. Very excited for it. And Marvel Legacy turned out amazing. If you were worried, I understand. This is amazing. This is everything you want it to be, and it's a great direction for the Marvel Universe going forward. Now we're going to take a look up at some of these collections. We've got Occupy Avengers Volume 2 from David Walker. And we also have, and this I think is super awesome, we've got the complete Indestructible Hulk from Mark Waid. Of course, a couple years back, Hulk got indestructible and he started parading with S.H.I.E.L.D. And we got to see him with S.H.I.E.L.D. We got to see him with Thor. We got to see Walt Simonson doing some of the art on that. Really cool stuff here. We also have the 19th Deadpool Classic collection, collecting a lot of his cool stories. Make war, not love. Cute little play on words there. Of course, Deadpool is far from a pacifist, except for that one time he was Zenpool. That was kind of funny. Then we've got Prox Transmissions from Dustin Bates and Peter David, a cool graphic novel, as well as Spider-Man 2099 Volume 7, the 7th volume of the series, and it's all by Peter David, and it's the original writer. You know that it's going to be good when the original writer has stayed on the book for such a great period of time. Then we've got Spider-Man and the Daily Bugle, some cool stories focusing on Spider-Man's often hostile, complicated relationship with the Daily Bugle, of course, as Peter Parker and as Spider-Man. Then we've got the 3rd volume of Spider-Man Deadpool from Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness. Some cool stuff there. We also have the 6th volume of Unbeatable Squirrel Girl and Who Runs the World? Squirrels. I love the titles for these books. They're always really fun. They're always cute play on words. And it's a great series from Ryan North and Erica Henderson. It's one of my favorite books that Marvel's been putting out because it's just so fun. Then we also have the Thor Epic Collection, The Wrath of Odin, by the originators, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Of course, Kirby would have been 100 this year. And this is a really great way to honor him by reprinting these original stories. This is the 3rd volume of the Epic Collection because they all number them. So if you are a diehard fan and you want to collect it from the very beginning, here's number 3. Then we also have this omnibus edition of The Mighty Thor from Stan Lee and Jack Kirby with some John Buscema thrown in there. And really great stuff. I love this cover that we have right here from Russell Dauterman. Russell Dauterman is really one of the modern masters of Thor. Very cool tribute to the classic origins. Then we also have Volume 5 of Old Man Logan. This finishes off Jeff Lemire's run on the title of the Past Lives storyline, where we see Logan dealing with his past, traveling through time. Some crazy stuff here. Now back to some of the single issues from this week. We've got the 23rd installment of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Of course, another really fun book, another book that's great to hand off to the kids. If your kids want to get into comics, give Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur. It's one of the most popular graphic novel series in all of comics. It is, like, that's an actual fact. This thing sells like crazy in graphic novels, and there's a few collections you can pick up. Then we also have Volume 6 of Nick Fury from James Robinson, an ACO, artist credit only. But really, I do want to show off some of that art because the dude's got some of the coolest art going
some far out layouts, and this is the title page. This is really cool, and it's a nice throwback to those classic Jim Steranko like layouts, you know, because he always had some crazy stuff unfolding, and this is really the modern equivalent. Some high concept, crazy sci-fi spy stories. And we also have some cool covers here. Another Dave Johnson. I love Dave Johnson covers. Then we have the 16th issue of The Punisher from Becky Cloonan. And we also have some Runaways being collected in these nice little paperback editions. Marcos Martin cover. Yay, Marcos Martin. This is a really well-designed cover. Good on you, Marcos Martin. Then we have issue 24 of Spider-Gwen. Got a cool Venomized cover there featuring the Vulture. And, of course, Spider-Gwen is really cool, really fun. Jason Latour, Robbie Rodriguez, Gwen Stacy. It's great. Gotta love it. Then we have the brand new issue of Ben Reilly, The Scarlet Spider from Peter David and Will Sliney. Some fun stuff here, as well as the Generation Spider-Man issue. Now, this is really cool, and it has some major effects on Spider-Man as we see Miles Morales meeting Peter Parker back when he was a high school kid. And, I mean, have you ever had, like, that moment where, like, you hang out with your parents, but you're with, like, your grandparents or, like, your aunts and uncles, and you get to see what they were like as a kid? Imagine what that's like when you're a superhero and you actually see your mentor as a kid. The culture shock is crazy, and it's very cool, and it's great to see this fun team-up between these two characters reimagined in a new lens. The second issue of the Mace Windu Jedi of the Republic series is out this week. Very cool here. It's Kit Fisto. It's Mace Windu. Those are two of the coolest Jedi, like, ever. So it's great to see them on the cover of a book once more. Then we also have issue 11 of Thanos from Jeff Lemire. The guy's everywhere. Some cool stuff here as we get to see Thane and the Phoenix Force. What? I don't even have the time to explain what's been going on, but it's cool and it's crazy. It's very fun. We also have issue number 23 of The Mighty Thor, this cool Venomized Hela cover. And there we go. We also have standard cover. Awesome stuff here. And great. We've got Valerio Schiti on art this issue, which is great because Valerio Schiti years ago drew Journey into Mystery with Sif, and that was awesome. And great to see him on here. Venomverse hits issue number 4 this week, and you can see him right here on the cover. Carnage has come to play. This is everything you can want. If you're a fan of, like, the symbiotes and just all the mayhem that they can get into, this is everything that you are looking for. And this is very fun. Elizabeth Torque, Gwenpool, Venomized cover. I guess it's Gwenpool at that point, but very cool and very fun. Cable also hits issue number 5 this week from James Robinson. And then we close off with X-Men Blue, issue number 12. A new member joins the team this issue. Some cool stuff. And it's Miss Sinister on the cover, and an Art Adams cover at that. And it's very cool, and it's very fun. We've also got previews, because it's the last week of the month. So, you know, pick up your previews, find out what's coming out. Cool little Immortal Men cover there. But it's a big week. We had a lot. We talked about a lot. We talked about, of course, New York Comic Con next week. Tickets are still available for $45 for Thursday. You can pick them up in our store. We have them right now. Come by, tell them I sent you, or tell them Vic sent you, because Vic was also sending you. Everybody's sending you. Go to Comic Con. It's awesome. Go for a day. Take a day off work. Play hooky, you know? And then also pick up the Convention Survival Guide while you're there. Pick it up. You can have your water, your books, your everything, and it's a snazzy backpack, you know? So we're very excited. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. We've got a lot of books. If you guys want to hear us talk about anything, just let us know in the comments. And thank you again, and have a happy new comic book day.